Hey, what's going on, Affordable Virgin Gang? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Hey, happy Terrestrial Festival release day. That's a big day, right? It's going to be December 6th, recording this today. I saw a lot of people cracking open some boxes, getting some packs, getting some pulls. You'll love to see it. I got some boxes along the way as well. They'll be here next week, hopefully Monday, Tuesday time frame. I'll actually have a couple. I'll be opening them up for sure. Maybe we'll get a crack and maybe get some good pulls. Tons of good stuff in the set. The leaks for it were absolutely fantastic. The art absolutely did not disappoint. I know some people completely disagree. There was a lot of people singing the praises of 151, Evolving Skies, previous sets of sorts. I really do think this is going to be a set of all time, and I really do think a lot of people are going to look back very fondly on this set, whether they collect it in English or Japanese. Myself, I'll be Japanese. I'll be opening up the boxes and all that. I am going to open a little bit of the English side, but I do have a feeling it's not going to be quite as accessible on the English side, at least at first. I think over time it's going to be a little bit easier to grab an ETB or two. If I'm a little lucky, I'll probably find a couple of them in the wild or something, but that's not the worries. The booster box of Japanese Terrestrial Festival are still pretty affordable, and as a result, it kind of seems that the actual singles prices for a lot of stuff, even some of the chase cards, are relatively affordable. Now, I haven't seen what some of the Master Ball ones go for, and I guess some of those are kind of rare. It does appear that those are not one in every single box. It was kind of a debate. There were some people who were getting some in like the two boxes they opened, so people kind of assumed one per box, and then there was people that absolutely did not pull one. Instead, they were just getting those Pokeball reverses. They all look fantastic, by the way, those texturized ones, seeing people open them up, pull them out. They look good, but it doesn't seem like the Master Balls are going to be guaranteed per box, but you are guaranteed an SAR per box, and there are several people that are reporting not only God packs, but double hit boxes where they're getting 2 SARs per box, which could be a trainer or another Pokemon. I've seen plenty of people have that stuff, but the single prices. So here, right here, we got the actual Umbreon, and we got the Sylveon right here that were speculated to be 2 of the top chase cards when it came from the set. 150 is what it said. I know eBay's kind of a little bit different, but if you're actually hunting around in Japan and going through and looking at this stuff, $180, $170 is not difficult for you to find at all. And then Sylveon sitting at like fucking $70 is not difficult to find at all either. I really do think these aren't going to be the big chases of the set. I do think, unfortunately, it's going to be the Master Balls, and that's going to be the big one that drives a lot of stuff, unfortunately. It was just like the 151 type stuff whenever those came out, the Gengar, the Pikachu, the Erica. Those were the actual big ones. The Evolutions did have a little bit of pull with that as well. But fuck, man, I mean, it's not about these cards. But that does make me very happy because the SARs are really what I'm the most happy about. I do have a binder where I was going to try to get all the SAR cards, and 35 is no small feat. That's going to be me adding them to my cart and going to check out, because even with the box I do have, there's no shot I'm getting all of them or even getting close to all of them. So I'm going to be missing some. It's going to be one of the things I'm going to have to do, and seeing prices like this definitely fills me with a lot of joy. Now, I'm not going to speak for everybody. There's a couple different ways these price points are being viewed in the eyes of the community, right? And I'm not here to tell people how to feel about it, but I truly have, before I go into how other people feel about it, I'm going to say for me, that's absolutely great. I love seeing prices like this. I don't think people should be making stupid amounts of money off of brand new sets. I'm sorry, I don't think you should be. I think the new set, if Pokemon is actually doing their job and printing to demand, it should be affordable and easy to obtain for everybody. And once the market fucking depletes of all of it, and once people actually get their share of it, and then, you know, it stops getting printed, more people come to the hobby, the people who actually were here and have their stock and have their cards and have their singles, whatever, the demand will go up because people want older sets on stuff too. But when a set brand new comes out, I don't think it should be too difficult for people to obtain. I think it should be available for everybody, and the cards should be around for people to pick up at fair prices, fair to what the favorites are and fair to what stuff is. I don't think $600, $700 cards day one is the way things should be. Now, obviously, people disagree with me. People do what they will, and just because I have an opinion about something does not mean the market follows any of that stuff at all. And we saw that happening with Japanese a couple years ago, year and some change ago, and English is now emulating that kind of stuff too, where we're seeing just some SAR Pokemon go for some crazy prices. I'm enjoying this in Japanese. I know some people disagree, and they want this shit to be expensive. They want their boxes they got in on super early at $40 a box to be worth $100 a box, because that's what they want from this place. They want money. They want financial compensation. Hey, if that's you, you do you, big dog. You make the money you want to do. You do what you want in this community. But I truly am happy to see that the affordable prices, that fucking Umbreon is sitting at $150. And let that be a lesson to everybody. When I saw booster boxes being affordable still at like $55, $60 a box, even like this close to the actual set coming out, they're going up a little bit more. I've seen like 65 bucks here and there. But like a week before, 5 days ago, 4 days ago, there were still people listing booster boxes for $54 a box. I knew right there and then this set was going to be affordable when it came down to singles. It was like, you know what? We're definitely going to have another VMAX Climax situation on our hands, and we're going to have a V-Star universe where none of the cards are really stupid high, and the ones that do have a crazy high markup price for that stuff are going to come down because there's going to be plenty of singles, there's going to be plenty of stuff. What the fucking Master Balls do? Who knows? That's going to be up to the Master Balls to decide what the balls are going to be rolling for. The pairs of balls will do what the pairs of balls does. I don't know. The English side of the market, it's going to be goofy. It's going to be one of those things where I think because it's not booster boxes, it's not like a controlled product kind of like that, it's going to be ETBs, individual products. Mind you, they have a long list of products that they plan on unveiling for Prismatic Evolutions down the line. I do think people are definitely going to try to do their things when it comes to the English side of Prismatic Evolution. I just do. I don't think Terrestrial Festival is going to have the exact same problems that fucking Prismatic Evolution is going to have. Apparently, the print rate for this is already higher than Shiny Treasure EX for Terrestrial, and it's definitely showing for some of the single prices for the hype and people's overall availability for it. I'm seeing a lot of people in the community actually opening up these boxes. Day one, too, might I add, which is kind of crazy. It's not something that used to be a thing, like, especially for Japanese sets. It used to take people a lot longer to get cards. It used to take them a lot longer to get boxes, and it was usually like a week and some change before the first English in the States YouTubers and stuff like that were opening the stuff up. Maybe like 4 to 5 days, but it definitely was not fucking day one. I'll tell you that right now. And the fact there's plenty of boxes to go around, there's plenty of stuff for people to get. It does feel good to see. I think English is going to have a lot of problems that Japanese does not have. It's going to be one of those things where people want the ETBs, especially the Pokemon Center ones, and that promo especially is going to be a big driver for stuff. I think the pull rates for some of that stuff is going to be a little bit different. I don't think it's going to be one per ETB. It usually never is, so we'll see what happens with that. It's going to be weird because the packs are going to be kind of random. People are going to use the pull rates, the English quality. People are going to use that for their own benefit when it comes to Prismatic Evolutions too. It's just going to be one of those things where, yeah, as the time goes on for that set, we'll see what happens with that. The English market has different goals for how this stuff kind of wants to work, but for the time being, the Japanese market does seem to be doing that stuff. The singles do seem to be relatively affordable for a lot of stuff. I haven't looked at every single card, but these were the two big ones that people were actually predicting was going to be the showstoppers, the hard-to-getters, the ones that people were really going to go after, and I've seen so many people with the Umbreon already. I've seen so many people with the card. God packs aside, I've seen like 3 or 4 God packs being pulled. I'm sure there's plenty more out there. It's good. It's really, really good to see. It's really, really good to see the community enjoying the stuff, actually getting their fair shot at some evolution pulls, and it not being treated the same way as other high-class sets were. Even Shiny Treasure EX, the flop of a set that may have been for some people. I did enjoy it. I did like certain things. I think this set coming out currently, Terrestrial, is better. But it's one of those things where it's just like apples to oranges, SARs versus Pokemon that you want. I think there's just more to offer in Terrestrial, personally. And I think people are going to like the set when it comes to a lot of how that feels and a lot of how that goes. English, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. We'll see what the prices look like for that. I have predictions mostly being on the higher side for English and people using the previous things I said to justify said prices, to justify said pulls. We're already seeing people do crazy fucking pre-sales for some of this stuff, selling like ETBs for $100, $110, no problem for Prismatic, and hiding behind the market value price where, hey, market value does what market value does. But it's a double-edged sword. It can work for sellers. It can absolutely work against them. And when it works against them and they want to complain, you remember times like this when it benefited them greatly, okay? They're making a ton per unit per box, regardless of what people are saying about like, oh, people are getting less of this product, the distro is not coming out as much, blah, 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 blah. The distros are fucking us right now. They're making a lot per box. They're not paying more than a certain amount of these per boxes from the distros. They're just not doing it. They're just cutting some of the product, moving it somewhere else. They're still making a ton of money off this shit unless they're actual sellers that don't care too much about the flip of it and are just selling it for a reasonable price. And the most people that do, when they put it on their actual website, it sells out relatively quick for the people that have access to it. That's what you want. You want to see that. You want to see the people excited to get the stuff and loyal to their actual stores, getting that stuff. And the stores taking like that extra step to like limit the actual bot sales, limit the ones going to the same address, limit repeat orders from like same people. It's really good to see people trying to be as fair as they possibly can. It is more common now. It is something you see people do. I know there's still the assholes out there that want to bundle stuff up and do weird things with the Prismatic Evolutions. They want to be a real Safari Zone out of this whole thing right there. And hey, by all means, if they want to do that and they want to actually treat their customers that way and their customers are fine with it, who are you to tell them how they should feel about that? Who are you to say how their customers should feel about this entire fiasco? I'm not doing that. There ain't no way you're going to convince me to do any of the stuff and like buy the shit that's going on over there. But you do you. If you think the set's worth it, you think the money's going to be there, by all means, do your thing. Have your fun. English is going to be a ride. It's going to be one of those things that we watch, and it's going to be something that people look back on. Remember, we're still in a boom, okay? We're still in it, and we haven't even seen the worst of it yet. I guarantee the worst of it's still to come. However, I am very pleased with how Pokemon is handling a lot of this stuff, and I think it won't be as bad as maybe previously thought. We shall see. English is going to be the real catalyst for that, in my opinion. That's all I got. Appreciate it, Virgin Gang. See you later. $150 for an Umbreon. $170 if you're looking around Japanese marketplace stuff like that. Shipping, all that good stuff. Yeah, I'd say that's fair. That's pretty good. That's a lot better than I was expecting. But hey, with sets like VMAX Climax, where fucking the beautiful Karen's Umbreon and Umbreon VMAX were like $40 to $60. Yeah, I mean, that's still an Umbreon, but it's not the good Umbreon. It's not the Moonbreon. There's not even a single moon in there. Doesn't even matter. Just a waifu, but, you know, yeah, that's how people felt about waifus, right?